wanted to talk a little bit about victimhood. There appears to be a growing number of people who are victims. Now, victim by definition is someone who has something happen to them. They are not active. They're not proactive. And that's understandable if you're a victim of a hurricane, or you're the victim of a robbery, or something like that, or a victim of murder. Those are all victims. But when you're a victim of something that happened 100 years ago, or 25 years ago, or the day before yesterday, and that stops you from achieving anything, then that is, in the long run, not workable. No nation or civilization ever grew to great status by having a victim mentality. They were confident, they were aggressive, and they believed in themselves. Now, Western civilization has grown because of people like that. And we are at a point now where everyone feels so secure that they think this house that Western civilization has built will go on forever, if no matter who whines, who cries, and who lays down. Again, and you can go through, the purpose of these little videos is history, and if you study it, you'll see no one achieved anything by waiting for somebody else to do something to them. It appears, and I've been around a little while now, that the media or academics have been training for decades to teach us to be victims, to be passive. You watch a movie and bank robber comes in, everybody's screaming and falling on the ground and whining and crying and so forth and so on. And hey, I understand that. I'd probably be one of them. But I think about, and I don't know if any of you know the Jesse James gang. Once they had this great bank robbery planned in Northfield, Minnesota. And they were notorious. People were scared to death of them. And they rode into Northfield, and the citizens fought back, shot them up, and broke the James gang. The Dalton brothers, who at some point were part of the James gang. Was it Coffeyville, Kansas? They did pretty much the same thing. They rode into town, and the citizens wouldn't have any part of it. One of the complaints some people had about the movie High Noon, which is a good movie, it's well made, but the citizens in this western town, which was built on the frontier, refused to stand with their marshal when gunfighters were coming to town. And you can sort of understand that, because if you're not a professional fighter or whatever, it makes a difference. However, if you think about it, people on the frontier were used to firearms. Whether they were a store clerk or a farmer or whatever, at some point they had to defend themselves. So, and you don't settle a continent like this one by being afraid. And that appears to be where we are to a great extent. There are lots of people who are not afraid and so forth. But we have, due to this wonderful computer and the internet and all of that, there appear to be people who can pretend to be warriors by using the keyboard. And they don't have to face any consequences for they're not really in your face, but for some of the insults that they throw out and so forth. That's another story. and I know I'm wandering here, but there's so much about this. It's just sad. We cannot continue, well, we can, to be passive and to accept things and to just sit back and let things happen. And I know every civilization reaches its end, and our Constitution is really pretty old. I mean, people say, well, the United States is a young nation. Well, if you think about it, it's really not, because even most of the European countries are recent European countries. Italy wasn't united as Italy until the 19th century. And the same thing can be said for Germany, and so forth and so on. I mean, that's getting away. But the thing is you have to have confidence. You have to believe in who you are. If you stop doing that, then you open the door for a step back. Well, gee, maybe what I'm doing. And you should consider what you're doing. I mean, you always have to have a plan. And then you adjust the plan if things aren't working the way they're supposed to. A lot of our leaders don't seem to understand that. It's the old definition of insanity is if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And we've had several people, left and right, who have been doing this dance for decades, and some people call it the uniparty. I don't know. But the thing is neither side really seems to have any belief or confidence in who we are and what we've done. I mean, geez, we have done phenomenal things. I mean, the world, I've said this several times, is much better off because we are here. I mean, there are people wandering around whining that they don't have this and they don't have that, and they have more than royalty did in the 19th century. I mean, there are homeless people with cell phones, and access to hot, and so-called people in poverty with cars and TV sets and air conditioning and all of this. And then they blame other people. They say, well, I'm a victim and it's your fault because I'm this way. And the people they point their finger at go, oh, no, yeah, it is our fault and we're bad and we should lay down. And in doing that, we've lost any semblance of a belief in what we are, who we are, what we can do. And we have done great things. We are capable of doing even greater things. We just have to get our mojo back. And that ain't easy. But anyway, I wanted to do that real quick. That's just kind of a wandering talk. Y'all have a good day.